Imagine standing on the white sands of South Beach. The sun is setting, painting the sky in shades of neon pink and deep violet. Behind you, the bass from $1 million club thumps against your chest. Supercars, finished in chrome and matte gold, glide down Ocean Drive like predatory sharks. This is the Miami the world sees, a high-octane, tropical paradise that never sleeps and never stops spending. But as you look closer at the shadows of the palm trees, something is missing. Where are the people? Where are the thousands of struggling souls who usually inhabit the corners of a major American city? The answer isn't that they've been rescued. The answer is that they are being hunted by drones. Right now, as the champagne flows in the penthouses, high-tech police surveillance is hovering over the dunes, peering into the mangroves, and scanning the back alleys to ensure that poverty doesn't ruin the view. Florida's House Bill 1365 has officially turned the act of sleeping outdoors into a crime. And Miami has become the laboratory for a ruthless new experiment, the total criminalization of survival. We are told the streets are miraculously clean, but behind those sanitized numbers lies a hidden army of 66,000 people, including 11,000 children, who are living in a state of permanent, terrified motion. Welcome to Homeless Lens. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on the Miami miracle. We're going to show you how a city burns millions of dollars a year just to shuffle human bodies from one zip code to another, while the rent jumps 80% and the safety net disintegrates. If you believe that a human being is more than an eyesore to be deleted, you need to hear this. Stay with us until the very end, because the truth about what's happening in Florida is a warning for the rest of the country. Part 1. The Hardline Arrest Machine. In early 2026, Miami Beach officials stood before the cameras to announce a statistical victory that seemed almost impossible. They reported the lowest number of unsheltered individuals in nearly 30 years. Just 93 people found sleeping rough during the official census. To the casual observer, it looked like the problem had been solved. But if you look at the police logs, a much darker story emerges. The Miami Beach model isn't about housing, it's about a high-speed arrest machine. Since the implementation of Florida's strict ban on public camping, the city has transformed the street into a gauntlet. In the last year alone, arrests for sleeping outdoors have tripled. The protocol is simple and brutal. If an officer finds you on the sidewalk and you refuse to enter a city-run shelter, many of which are already at maximum capacity, or have strict entry requirements, you are cuffed on the spot. But it's not just the police. The city has engineered the very ground to reject the human body. This is what we call hostile architecture. Look at the new park benches. They are fitted with sharpened metal studs and concrete spikes to make it physically painful to sit for more than a few minutes. Look at the bus shelters. They've been redesigned to ensure no one can lie down. The city is sending a clear message. You are not welcome to exist in public space. And then there are the drones. Miami has deployed advanced aerial surveillance to track down makeshift camps tucked away in the dunes or under bridges. These missions aren't for rescue, they are for removal. When a camp is spotted, teams move in to clear the area, often discarding the only belongings these individuals have: their ID, their medications, and their blankets. The financial cost of this tough love approach is staggering. It costs the city approximately $294 per day to keep one person in jail. When you arrest hundreds of people for the crime of having nowhere to go, You are flushing millions of taxpayer dollars into a system that offers zero long-term resolution. Most individuals are released after 60 days with no support, no housing plan, and the same empty pockets they had when they were arrested. They walk right back to the same streets, and the cycle resets. It is a high-cost revolving door dressed up as progress, designed to make the city look pretty for tourists, while the actual human crisis festers just out of frame. Part 2. The 66,000 invisible souls. The most dangerous part of the Miami crisis is the part that the drones can't see and the official counts don't reach. While the city celebrates having fewer than 100 people on the beach, there's a hidden population of 66,000 human beings in Miami-Dade County, living in a state of absolute housing instability. This is the hidden homeless, the shadow population that is only one bad day away from the sidewalk. Within this massive number are 11,000 children. These kids aren't sleeping in tents. They are rotating through a nightmare of couch surfing, cramped weekly motels, and the back seats of aging sedans. Because they aren't on the street, they fall outside the official statistics used to allocate federal funding. They are ghosts in the system. Imagine trying to maintain a job or keep a child in school when you don't have a fixed address. Without a lease, you have no security. Without a mailbox, you have limited access to social services. Everything in your life becomes temporary and fragile. This is the working homeless epidemic. These are people who are employed sometimes working 2 or 3 service sector jobs in the very hotels and restaurants that define Miami's luxury. Yet they cannot afford the 80% rent surge that has decimated the city since 2019. When you work 40 hours a week and still can't afford a roof, the system has failed you. But because these individuals are hidden, they don't trigger public complaints. They don't ruin the optics of the boulevards. Politically, they are convenient to ignore, but operationally, they are the majority of the crisis. If the motel layer of Miami collapses as it is threatened to do under new zoning laws, you won't see a slow increase in street homelessness. You will see a sudden, catastrophic surge that no amount of drones or jail cells can manage. The pressure is building inside the walls of those cheap motels, and when it breaks, the Miami miracle will be exposed for the illusion it truly is. Part 3. The social backlash and the cost of displacement. As we move through 2026, the real-world fallout of these hardline policies is sparking a massive backlash across the region. While the arrest numbers look like a win on a political flyer, the actual impact on the community is devastating. Advocates and experts are beginning to speak out against what they call the exploitation of poverty. When Miami Beach aggressively sweeps its streets, the people don't just disappear into thin air. They are pushed into the city of Miami, North Dade, or the surrounding suburbs. This creates a musical chairs effect where one neighborhood's success becomes another neighborhood's crisis. We've seen community leaders express outrage as their local parks and sidewalks become overwhelmed by people who have been forcibly displaced from the high-rent tourist zones. The financial logic is also being called into question. Why are we spending $194 a day on a jail cell when that same money could provide high-quality, permanent supportive housing with built-in medical and mental health services? Organizations like the Homeless Trust have been vocal. The jail route is a money pit. That solves nothing. It addresses the symptom, the visibility of the person, while completely ignoring the cause, the lack of a home. There is also a profound human cost to this displacement. Families and children are drowning in chronic stress. Every time they are forced to move, a child loses a week of school. Every time a car is towed, a father loses his ability to get to work. The root problems: the lack of affordable units, the stagnant wages, and the absence of a real mental health safety net haven't moved an inch. We are witnessing a city that is burning public cash to maintain a specific aesthetic for its visitors, while the families who actually keep the city running are being treated like hazardous waste. The question we have to ask ourselves is, are we building a community Or are we just managing a gated paradise? Part 4. The health and psychological toll. When you live in a state of permanent instability, your health is the first thing to break. In Miami, it isn't usually one dramatic medical event that takes someone down. It's the small wear, the constant, grinding erosion of the body and mind. Imagine the physical toll of irregular sleep, poor nutrition, and constant exposure to the sweltering Florida heat. For those on the street or cycling through motels, chronic conditions like diabetes, hypertension, and respiratory issues become death sentences. Why? Because management requires stability. You can't keep insulin cool in a backpack. You can't follow a heart-healthy diet when you're eating from a gas station. The psychological weight is even heavier. Living with the constant fear of arrest or being robbed in your sleep creates a state of hypervigilance that mirrors the trauma of a war zone. Untreated mental health challenges depression, anxiety, and the scars of past trauma escalate rapidly when there is no safe place to recover. And here's the catch-22. To get traditional health care, you usually need an ID, insurance, and a fixed address. That combination alone locks the most vulnerable people out of the very clinics that could save them. This is where the cycle becomes unbreakable. Health declines, making it harder to work. Income drops, making housing impossible. Stress increases, and the health collapses further. What fills the gap? Heroic mobile medical teams and street medicine doctors who go directly into the encampments and motel clusters. They treat wounds on the sidewalk and hand out life-saving medications. They are doing incredible work, but as they will tell you, they are only stabilizing a sinking ship. They aren't the solution, they are the tourniquet. Until we realize that health and housing are the same system, we will keep spending millions on emergency room visits for problems that could have been solved with a locking door and a clean shower. Part 5. Relief versus permanent exits. The system in Miami isn't technically failing. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's managing the pressure. Right now, the city is running a patchwork of interventions. You have tiny home communities, expanded shelter beds, and aggressive outreach teams. On paper, this looks like a lot of activity. And for some, it is a lifeline. A bed and a shower can provide a temporary moment of peace. But there is a fatal flaw in the strategy. The inflow is significantly higher than the exit rate. More people are falling into the shadow of homelessness every week than the system can possibly pull out. We are essentially trying to bail water out of a boat with a teaspoon while the hull has a massive, gaping hole. Most of these programs are built for relief, not throughput. Shelters are designed for a few nights, not for the months or years it takes to find a subsidized apartment in a market where the rent is up 80%. Tiny homes are a great concept, but they are too few and far between to meet the demand of 66,000 people. Outreach is critical, but it is reactive. It finds you once you've already lost everything. What's missing is direction. We have almost no long-term data on what actually works in Florida because we don't track outcomes. We don't know who stays housed after a year. We don't know which programs are actually breaking the cycle, and which ones are just providing a temporary pause before the person returns to the sidewalk. This leads to a cycle of program chasing, launching a new initiative, showing some short-term numbers for the next election, and then moving on while the problem resets, until the goal shifts from reducing visibility to creating permanent exits. We are just managing a tragedy instead of solving it. Part 6. The road to 2027, a collision course. As we look toward the next 12 months, Miami is on a collision course with reality. Spring break 2026 is already here, bringing a massive influx of tourists and another inevitable spike in short-term rental prices. The pressure on the remaining low-income housing and the hidden population in motels is about to reach a breaking point. The neighboring cities are watching Miami Beach closely. If they decide to follow the same path, more drones, more spikes, and more to $194 a day jail bills, the displacement will have nowhere left to go. We are seeing the same story play out in Austin, Los Angeles, and New York. Cities are choosing the expensive, short-sighted route of cleaning up the fancy blocks, while the total human load on the streets actually grows. The numbers are crystal clear. Without the construction of actual, affordable, permanent supportive housing units, all of the success is just moving human suffering from one street corner to another and calling it progress. We are at a crossroads. Miami can either continue to be a symbol of the new criminalization trend, or it can lead the way by acknowledging that the working homeless and the hidden 66,000 are the people who actually make the city run. The next year will show us whether the city has learned the lesson of the revolving door, or if it will keep burning taxpayer cash to make the beach look pretty for a weekend, while a generation of children grows up in the back of cars. Outro, the final reflection. Nothing you have heard today is an accident. This is a system under immense pressure, and its response tells us everything we need to know about our priorities. When we make poverty invisible, we don't make it go away. We just make it more dangerous. We compress it. We wait for it to explode. If a problem becomes harder to see, does it actually get smaller? Right now, Miami is a city of active programs and aggressive enforcement. But as we've seen, the cycle keeps resetting. What if the issue isn't a lack of capacity, but a lack of courage? The courage to admit that the miracle is an illusion. The real question is simple. Are we building a city of exits, or are we just managing the flow of the forgotten? At Homeless Lens, we believe that the measure of a city isn't found in its supercars or its skyscrapers. It's found in how it treats the 11,000 children who don't know where they'll sleep tonight. I want to thank you for staying with us through this deep dive. Your time is an investment in human dignity. Now, I want to hear from you. How did this story make you feel? Do you think drones and arrests are the answer, or are we just making a high-cost mistake? Please leave a comment below. We read every single one, and your voice is what helps us grow this conversation. If this video opened your eyes or touched your heart, please hit that like button. It tells the algorithm that these human stories matter. And most importantly, subscribe to Homeless Lens. Join our community as we continue to uncover the truths that the travel brochures are too afraid to show you. Thank you for watching. Take care of each other out there. We'll see you in the next story.